He was a skater boy. She said, see you later, boy. Brendan Perna still knows how to skate. He was doing lots of flips and all the really cool things. And now he's super cool. Oh, yeah.
Suck it, haters.
Oh, baby. We here.
We skate.
And we are not late. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. Tom Grossi, Brandon Perna, and this is G-A-P-S. Holy crap, it looks like we got breaking news. It looks like we do. Holy God. Jalen Hurts, a 5-year, $255 million extension, makes him the highest paid player in NFL history.
Whoa.
Damn. Jalen got paid.
Nice. Woo. 1 minute ago by Shefty.
There you go. Oh, man. Yeah, exactly. You know what? Shout out to the Eagles for getting it done there. I appreciate that. So,
Lamar Jackson's price just went up.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. So that's because he's from the 2020 draft, because he was drafted in the Jordan Love draft. And it's just interesting. We haven't seen Jordan Love play at all. And instead, Jalen Hurts has just gotten like a super mega deal. This is going to change some things. But you know what, dude? He deserves it, because there was that first season, right, where he was like, okay, this kid's got something. It's but who knows if he's going to be really good. I know his accuracy in that Buccaneers playoff game, that wild card round where they got bounced, really wasn't good. And he lit the league on fire last year. He was really good.
Yeah. The thing with the narrative is funny to me, because I remember watching Jalen Hurts in 2020 and I was like, oh, the Eagles got something cooking here with Hurts. He's a lot better than I thought he was going to be. And then even though they lose that playoff game, he's essentially going against what was a top 3 defense that year in the Bucs defense. It's like a young QB is playing against one of the best defenses in the NFL, getting bounced by them. And somehow it draws all these questions about whether or not he's good enough. But
which, by the way,
he got better every year.
He did.
That's when you're looking at young QBs, it's Josh Allen did it. Jalen Hurts is doing it. It's that progression, and it's coaching. It's building the team, the offense to their strengths, which the Ravens did with Lamar Jackson. And, now I think the lesson here is, as soon as you can get that big contract extension, take it. Just take the 170 million guaranteed and hope you get it.
Because right now, so it's $255 million. It's $179.3 million in guaranteed and a no trade clause. And if you recall, good sir, they did this, they drafted him when Carson Wentz was still on the team. And that was that was a little bit controversial. Obviously, Carson Wentz fell off massively, but it wasn't that long ago where he was having an MVP season. He got hurt, and it was okay, no, Carson can still kind of be the guy. Their offensive line is not really good. That got revamped, and now he is the highest paid player in NFL history. It's just insane, because the Eagles, they took a risk, and because what was it? Jalen Hurts was a second rounder, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't take a risk. This is what I just did a video about the Broncos' last 7 drafts. And the Broncos in the second round drafted KJ Hamler, when Jalen Hurts was there, right? Now, Denver didn't need a quarterback that draft because Drew Lock had just put a nice sample size on film for the team that season. But my point was, like, if you don't have your quarterback yet, you don't believe you have him, and the Eagles were smart enough to be like, we don't think Carson Wentz is the guy anymore. You draft quarterbacks until you find that freaking guy. And you draft all over the draft. So if you have Carson Wentz, you're not taking a quarterback in the first round there, right? But you're like, we really like Jalen Hurts. He is available right now in the second round. Let's just draft him because you have nothing to lose. And it's crazy to me when I went back through that and realized how many mistakes the Broncos made by not taking QBs when they should have. And just like being off a year when you're trying to get a guy versus waiting like the Eagles did smartly and grabbed him. But anyway.
But you look at the narratives, right? So you basically had the opposite situation happen with the Packers because the Packers, they traded up still in the later first round. Still later in the first round, but they trade up for Jordan Love. And now, like, Aaron Rodgers goes and wins back-to-back MVP seasons, and they look bad in this. Now, if Jordan Love is the guy, like, they'll look okay and they'll look fine. But they did the same thing in the same draft. Obviously, Carson Wentz wasn't Aaron Rodgers, but, just sees, like, the different reactions to that, in which, like, I said, like, I liked Jordan after my screaming thing that went viral, screamed into a pile of clothes because I just didn't like the pick there. Had no problem with the player. It was the pick at that point. I was like, that's where the issue is for me. And so now it's going to be like, are the Packers going to look even worse? Because if Jordan Love is not the guy, it's going to be problematic. But it's like you said, the worst time to go get, especially a QB. It's really with any position, but the worst time to have to like go and draft a QB is when you need one. That's why all these teams are trading up. That's why the Panthers are trading up like their future to go and get a franchise QB. That's why the 49ers did it with Trey Lance, who knows if he's going to still be on the team. They may have found their guy in the last pick of the draft. It's a wild time.
Yeah. I mean, and that's another great example. Like the 49ers,
they traded
had
a
Trey
ton.
Lance, had Jimmy G, and they're like, hey, we kind of like this Brock Purdy kid. Let's grab him here. It's the final pick. Denver did that with Chad Kelly. And I think talent-wise, that was correct. And he just had a bunch of off-field stuff. And then he got in trouble because he got really wasted on Halloween, went into the wrong person's house, got chased out with a vacuum cleaner. No harm there, but the Broncos released him. And now, like, last year, he just won the Grey Cup in Canada. And I think, like, that shows, like, the dude can still play football.
Sure.
And maybe you had the guy there that you could have developed, but you cut him. So, yeah, take quarterbacks. Get them. Any round, wherever. You don't know when they're going to work out. It was the Paxton Lynch, Dak Prescott comparisons. The Cowboys just took Dak in the fourth there. Was the best quarterback from that draft. It's just like, vacuum cleaner. He was dressed as Woody, got super drunk at the Broncos Halloween party, went into the wrong home, and then was chased out by whoever owned that home with a vacuum cleaner handle. Chad Kelly.
It's kind of amazing. Giannis got hurt, and my life is ruined for now. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he's okay. Didn't like that, though.
Back contusion. He's not okay.
You're not okay.
Sorry. Back injuries, they suck.
Shh. You shh. Shh. Shh.
Yeah. But anyway, this is a great move for Philly.
Mm-hmm.
What's his cap hits going to be?
So that's what I'm looking for right now because, damn, that guy got paid. Like Lamar, it's going to be wild now. Like, what is he going to get? I'm so curious when that all shakes out because he has to get more than Jalen Hurts, right? So it says this monster deal includes $15 million in incentives, meaning Hurts can earn up to $54 million per year in new money and up to $274.3 million through 2028, including a $4.3 million that he would have been due last year because he's still on his rookie deal because it's an extension. So
nice.
Damn. And that's the thing. If they traded up in the first round to get Jalen Hurts, they would have gotten a 5th-year option out of him. But they didn't.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of teams like that, but
Lamar Jackson, that's what happened to him.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's getting dicked by it.
The no trade clause is the first in Eagles history.
Wow.
That's wild. That's from a guy that it was like, I don't know, to, yep, let's give him all the money. I mean, it's smart for the Eagles to do. They just took him to like a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, they got to keep a bunch of their pieces. I know they lost some guys in free agency, but not as many as many were predicting. So yeah, why not go get your guy, lock him up, and now.
Honestly, this probably helps Anthony Richardson a bit too in his value. Like, I think there's this window right now that I think NFL teams look at with dual threat quarterbacks. I think they have this incredible ability to beat opposing defenses by having a QB that can run and throw. And we just saw it with Hurts. We saw it with Lamar Jackson early there. And I think teams like the idea of it's like low risk in terms of you're not worried about your quarterback running too much. And I think like statistics show quarterbacks are a lot less likely to get hurt when they're running the football, like outside of the pocket making plays, because they have a little bit more control over how they're hit versus sitting in the pocket, getting hit when you don't see it, scrambling and like just taking those weird hits that affect ankles and elbows and arms and when you're in all that traffic. But like there's just this nice window with young QBs, and you can take a guy who's a little bit raw and lean on their ability to run while they develop in your system as a passer. And you're not overspending for them in that 4-year period. And if it doesn't work out, it's like, then there's no, you can move on from them without like a big consequence.
Well, it depends, right? Unless you like trade it up massively, like for that person, you know, and we're like,
yeah, if you gave up a bunch of capital,
if you're the 49ers, like, oh, that would have been better. But to your point, the Eagles also just did it really right. They surrounded Jalen Hurts, who was a raw talent, with one of the best offensive lines in the league. They gave him one of the best running games in the league to dump off of. Oh, and they got amazing wide receivers. Like, they made that offense a juggernaut, and we're like, here, go be the guy. And it's kind of what they're trying to do in Miami, because they have those amazing receivers. They went and got, was it Armstead? They got him like last offseason to try and make that offensive line better, because that offensive line was atrocious and still has a way to go. It's not one of the best in the league. And they also brought in Mostert, right? They brought in like all those 49ers running backs. They're trying to do it with them too. So yeah, it's just, you know, some have more. They're also in a weak conference. Like the NFC is a weaker conference. And right now, when you have arguably, I mean, because let's just assume Aaron Rodgers gets traded. Do the Eagles have the best quarterback in the NFC?
You can make that argument for sure.
I think there's a strong argument that you can make for that.
Yeah. There's two things here. One, Lamar has to get more, because that's just how the quarterback market works. Like every time one of the top quarterbacks gets that new big contract, the NFLPA, the agents, the players all want the next quarterback to get more, because it ups the value for all the quarterbacks. It's the way, it's kind of how they keep like the owners in check in terms of not devaluing like the position. So it's not to say that Lamar Jackson is currently better than Jalen Hurts, which is why he deserves more money, but that's just how the market goes. And the other thing I saw somebody say, like Jalen Hurts has a better team around him, has a stacked offense around him. And that is correct. And when you're in that window with the young QB, you have to stack that offense. You have to give your quarterback a chance to succeed. Like, what's so funny?
Look at who donated.
Oh yeah. Johnny Meows. Johnny Meows.
Yeah, Russell Wilson apparently can't drive a golf cart and play football. What?
He can play football. All you fuckers shut up. Okay? This guy is going to have
I can't wait till week 7 where he's just like so mid and you're just done. There's going to be a day.
I get to be optimistic right now.
That's fine.
Till proven otherwise.
Yeah, it'll be a problem if Giannis is out.
But yes, build a good offense around your quarterback and they will succeed. Like it applies to any and all quarterbacks in the NFL. The only quarterback right now who could probably win with a half-ass shitty offense is Patrick Mahomes. He's the only one. Like, you take, I don't know, Stephon Diggs away from Josh Allen, I think that offense struggles. It's just like, yeah, give him a good line, give him a lot of weapons, and let him go get it. The Eagles are kind of an anomaly because you can try and build your offensive line. Like, the chances are they're not going to be as good as the Eagles. Their line was just dominant last year. My fiance knows Tom from listening to him, and when I tried to show Brandon to her last night, her initial thought was that he was Tom's assistant. Oh, good.
Tucker, send my love to your fiance.
No. Hold on. Tucker? Fiance? Sounds like nothing's final. So maybe it's time to move on, Tucker.
Engaged ain't married, as Michael Scott would say.
Maybe it's time to move on.
Tucker, I think you picked the perfect person. The perfect person. Just saying here.
Time to move on, Tucker.
Just saying.
Not the one. Not the one.
Honestly, that's more that's more accurate.
Yeah, okay. Now we're talking.
And Carmi's, I would imagine. It's just like,
yeah, really, Jess and I are Carmi's assistant now.
Personal assistant. It's just like, yep. Okay. Yeah, Russell Wilson flipping golf carts.
Flipping golf carts. We've all done it. I hope he was drunk. Like,
just because you hope he's like having a good time out there?
Yeah, I think Russell Wilson needs to get drunk more. I think that's part of the problem. Too wound up, old Russ. Cut loose, buddy. Smoke some of that legal Colorado weed. Get just blackout drunk. Let's open up that mind, body, and spirit. And the best way to do that, substance. Not abuse. Substance to cut loose.
What if he just comes out and he's Aaron Rodgers next year? And I don't mean in terms of ability and talent. I just mean in terms of speaking. Like, he just says, you know what? I haven't done it before. I am just going to get so incredibly high, and just like comes out a completely changed person. And he's just like, yep, let's rad.
Let's rad.
And he's like, he's just doing bong hits. Like, he's just going live on Instagram live all the time. And he's just like doing bong hits. Yep. It's true. Oh, wait, I'm going to die then. Oh, all right.
You ride and you die together.
It's true. It's very, very true. It's very, very true. I just think it'd be fun.
We ride and we die together.
It's true.
Apparently, I'll die as Tom's assistant. So,
can I get you some more coffee, Tom?
I don't drink coffee. You should know that. It's why
Too
you're
bad.
a terrible assistant.
Okay.
You're terrible. Justin!
Here is a glass of water.
Thank you. I'm not thirsty right now, though.
Dipped in cheese.
Thank you, Justin. The rest of the 2022 draft class, yep, Burrow in particular. Burrow, I think, is going to get Daniel Jones. Definitely had a ripple effect, but that's what Perna was saying. Any single time that you get one of these QBs that gets like a pretty good deal, the next one who's like around their ability is going to get a bigger deal or something very close to. So now the big one is going to be Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, I think, is going to make more money than Jalen Hurts. And it's probably going to be somewhere around $300 million because the guy has been a stud and he's taken them to a Super Bowl. So
it's Burrow and it's Herbert. So those are the next two.
But Burrow, I think, is going to make the most out of that group.
You would assume. Burrow's kind of this weird wild card to me in that he's very loyal to his home state. I could see him being one of the QBs who's like, you know what? We don't have to max it out. There you go, Tucker. There you go.
Yeah, just tell her that I'm doing some community service. Just give him back.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, what? Are you gonna make fun of me? Are you gonna say Pokemon restaurant again? You gonna do
No.
that? You gonna go get me on
Pokemon
that?
restaurant.
Trying to say reference? You Twitter blue in real life? Did you get it yet?
40-year-old man eating at the Pokemon restaurant.
I'd go to a Pokemon restaurant. Are they actually serving Pokemon? Like they were eating Pokemon, or is it just like themed?
No, you eat. They try to flavor their meat as closely to Pokemon characters as possible.
So like they just get a rat and they electrocute it, and they're like, "Here, it's Pikachu."
Yep.
That
I don't
sounds
know. I don't know
horrible.
any of the characters, so however you got to do it.
There's
makes
no
sense.
way you've never heard of Pikachu before. There's
I know
no way.
Pikachu, I guess.
Exactly. Okay,
He's
Charizard.
the yellow guy.
Yeah, Charizard. There's no
Nope.
way.
Never, no clue.
So you just know Pikachu. That's the only Pokemon you know.
Yeah, I've never watched it.
That's fine. It's like one of the most popular franchises on the planet.
Hmm.
It is. It's made like more money than like Star Wars.
When did it debut? 97? Yeah, I was
7.
13. So I was like, I ain't watching this. I'm a man.
And then what happened?
We watched some more King of Queens and Everybody Loves Raymond on Tuesday nights, baby.
There you go. There you go. Cookies. Also, Rachel's still Twitter suspended because of Brandon Perna.
I didn't Twitter suspender.
And you hurt Giannis.
I got a Twitter suspender. I didn't hurt Giannis either.
Yeah.
Sorry if my team just dominated.
Oh
Go
my
Nugs.
God.
29-point victory. I didn't even have to watch the fourth quarter. I was like, it's time for bed because that game came on late.
It's true.
Very late.
And you watched Succession.
Hell yeah, I did.
It was good.
I had Succession on and then I had the Nuggets on my phone.
Nice. Nice. I take it. All right. So today we were going to talk about this.
The fuck does that mean, Nick?
You ever see Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I have. Why am I Walt Jr.?
It's a turtle. No, it's literally like a turtle. That's just it was boiled. That's it. We were going to talk about. I already changed my title to Jalen Hurts. So, but we're going to talk about draft trades that could happen, like draft day trades.
We got big draft trades that could happen. In this upcoming NFL draft, Tom.
There you go. We got it. We did it. Yeah.
Jalen gets paid. Go Birds. 250 million.
Whoa! Echo! Boop! Fade for the kitty. Oh, I gotta get the other one too. Oh wait, did you do a ride or die together? You did that one for that, right?
Yeah, I did one of those.
Okay. There we go.
Birds? How about Bills?
Thank you, Necro. Appreciate you. Yeah,
We
we.
need a
Oh
bird
wait,
one.
don't we have a Fly Eagles Fly one?
No.
Oh no, I put it on. I put that one on clickbait.
Oh, did he want to skate? Hell yeah. Thank
Johnny
you,
made that
Johnny
so
Parks.
quickly. Like so quickly. Appreciate you, Necro. Like so quickly. Also, you hurt Tyler Hero. Broke his hand.
Somebody, some call me the real hero.
That's
I do want to
actually
talk about these trades because I think there's a lot that could happen.
Lamar. But Burrow, I don't think. Real quick, do you think Burrow gets paid this offseason or they wait? Because they picked him in the first round, so 5th-year option.
Yeah, they'd be smart to pay him now. Like, that's the thing. Every year you wait to pay your quarterback, the contract goes up.
What happened with Dak? Remember Dak? Like, he went through that whole
He
thing.
did
And it was...
franchise tag twice. So he made like 30 million, and then signed it.
So my question to you here, and this is a doozy. If Joe Burrow gets paid before Lamar Jackson, does Lamar Jackson get more money? I say no.
Yeah, there's probably only 3 quarterbacks based on like how contracts work, like if Josh Allen were up to get paid, if Patrick Mahomes were up to get paid, if Joe Burrow's contract, those are the three like quarterbacks you go, yeah, they're not going to pay him as much as those guys. But that's probably it, right? Like even Justin Herbert. So like Mark Schlereth posted a thing about Mahomes and Herbert on Twitter this week and the Lamar contract.
I'll die.
And saying like just how they're better than Lamar. And then like people were really getting after him in the comments. And Mahomes, yeah. But like Justin Herbert, it's this whole fucking like style of play thing that football nerds just J-O over with Justin Herbert because he hasn't done shit that Lamar Jackson hasn't done. But somehow he is so much better than Lamar Jackson, deserves so much more money. He was hurt almost all season with his rib cartilage, right?
Yep.
Oh, Justin Herbert. Yeah, he's not injury prone. He played hurt. He was a check down master last season because he couldn't throw the way he wanted to. It was all Joe Lombardi's fault, right?
Lombardi
and
sucks.
don't get me wrong. I think Justin Herbert's great. He has one playoff loss where his team blew a how many point lead? Like at least Lamar Jackson has a playoff win. The Ravens have gotten to the playoffs a couple times with Lamar Jackson. So I don't see like how you could argue, oh yeah, we'll pay Herbert, but not Lamar Jackson. Mahomes, I get. He's a different beast. He's the best quarterback in the league. Like he does stuff none of those guys do. The only other guy who does shit similar to Mahomes is Josh Allen. And, you know, the Bills just they had more injuries last season. And I don't think Sean McDermott's as good of a head coach as Andy Reid. But, like, Herbert, come on. You know what Herbert can't do? It's sweep the Broncos. Boom. Doesn't deserve to get paid. Only quarterback in the AFC West who couldn't sweep the Broncos the last 2 years. So how good can he really be? How good can Justin Herbert be if he can't even sweep the Denver Broncos in his own division? Fraud. He's a fraud just because of that, Tom.
You know,
Derek Carr swept them. Mahomes, he swept them like 6 years in a row. 7? I don't even know. I can't even.
Raiders
count.
are up to 3 years in a row now.
Yeah. What's Herbert do? Lose to the Broncos once every year. Fraud. What a fraud. And honestly, like Herbert's the quarterback I like the most in the AFC West next to Russ. Well, I might like Herbert more than Russ, but like in terms of like using your team's success to knock against the QB, like nobody does that for Herbert. Every excuse is because the Chargers aren't very good. Lamar gets all the blame right now for the Ravens' failings.
Which shouldn't be because you had Greg Roman, you had no receivers.
It's like, it's just a double standard. And it's because they play the position differently. So, I would take Herbert. I'm not saying Herbert's bad. I'm talking about like the dumb argument against Lamar. Doesn't get knocked at Herbert because his arm talent is better. He's not that clutch. He's not the most clutch quarterback I've ever seen.
Herbert?
Yeah.
I think Herbert's actually super clutch. That Raiders game, like week 18, he's the only reason why that team was even like in it. Like he led so many fourth down conversions.
A year later, he choked away a lead.
Aren't we talking about how hurt he is? That's not his fault. Like I don't.
He couldn't make one play in the second half.
Wins are not.
Couldn't make one play in the second half. But I would take Herbert. He's a good quarterback. So is Lamar Jackson. People are going to celebrate when Herbert gets paid. People will come up with 50 million reasons why not to pay Lamar Jackson. The NFL's weird, man. It's weird. Show it to me.
I think my favorite part, because that went for a while, my favorite part of that entire rant is you drop the F-bomb, the S-bomb, but you wouldn't say jerk off. You said J-O for that.
Oh, I think J-O is funnier than jerk off.
I don't know if I've heard that. I don't think I've heard you say J-O, because you usually just say it.
I usually say masturbatory practices. Masturbatory. Masturbation. Masturbery. Masturbery.
I mean, listen, with OBJ coming back to the Ravens, I think that's a big swing. That it's like, hey, we got you a dynamic playmaker who hopefully is still good. And
yeah,
be quiet now.
The big difference right now is Jalen Hurts has an agent. I think that's helped.
Probably.
And you don't need an agent. But if we're going to criticize Lamar, maybe he's not the easiest player to negotiate with. Like, I don't know. I think that's a fair criticism. Like, I would like to put all the blame on the Ravens, but I can't because we don't know. We don't know how that practice goes. Agents have a pretty standard approach to that stuff.
You did. Highest paid player in NFL history.
Yeah.
I got paid.
It's a good move for the Eagles.
It's a very good deal for the Eagles. Absolutely.
No,
Absolutely.
We're not losing twice to the Raiders again.
Nice.
Not a chance.
Nice. No, dude got paid. Well deserved. Well
We're
earned.
going to beat the Raiders with Stidham. We're going to beat the Raiders with Stidham. Show Josh McDaniels what he really wanted. Jarrett going to crush him. All right, these draft day trades, Tom. There's a handful of players that could move. Obviously, there are two that we're pretty certain are going to move.
Mm-hmm.
One is your quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, which, by the way, reporting today is our QB1, Jordan Love. Let's go, baby.
Oh.
Let's go. That's right. Voluntary workouts. You know who's not showing up to voluntary workouts? Quinnen Williams. Wait a minute. I thought Joe Douglas was the greatest GM ever. How come his players aren't recording? How come they're not reporting to voluntary? Oh, no. See, this is how stupid it sounds like when we do this. But yeah, I'm very happy that Jordan Love is there. I'm very happy. Sorry. I'm very happy. Very, very happy. But yes, Aaron Rodgers likely to be moved. And I think talk about deadlines, right? Pushing things and kind of forcing hands. Maybe the draft is like, this might happen on draft night.
Yeah, I think Rodgers.
I did see that rumor.
Like they're also saying like Rodgers could be traded after the draft, right?
Last night it was so good.
But to me, it's kind of just like I think teams are more willing to move draft picks on draft day. But like Rodgers, Jets, like it's supposed to happen. We think it's going to happen. I think it could happen on draft day. The other guy right now is DeAndre Hopkins. We keep waiting for this trade to happen, but nobody wants to give up the what the Cardinals are asking for with DeAndre Hopkins. The Cardinals do sit at 3, and maybe Hopkins is part of whatever weird trade they do if they're giving up that. So there's a lot of X factors there. But I saw that video. I think it was CBS Sports put it out, where they're asking Hopkins which teams he would play for, and he had to answer with body language. He said no to the Patriots, no to the Jets, which is interesting because it's assumed Rodgers will be there. But he said he gave very positive body language to the Chiefs, but more importantly to the Buffalo Bills. Would you think the Bills would be like willing to give up Gabe Jackson for Hopkins and like mid to later round draft pick?
I do that tomorrow. I do that right now. Are you kidding me? Like, I like Gabe Davis a lot. I do, but there are also games where he doesn't know how to catch the ball. I think he's a good deep threat. Like, he's emerged as a good solid player. Absolutely. Give them Gabe Davis, trade like a 3rd round pick or a 4th.
Streaky. Yeah.
Because DeAndre Hopkins doesn't want to raise, like, you know, and they still have a contract that they need to deal with, but oh my God, are you kidding me? Stephon Diggs and DeAndre Hopkins with Josh Allen? Oh my God. Oh
Mm.
my God. That would be
Mm.
insanity. But I think the better fit is probably with the Chiefs, just to watch your reaction.
No. The last thing Patrick Mahomes needs is
think
a
Gabe
wide
Jackson?
receiver who
Gabe Davis.
literally can catch any football thrown his way.
Did I say Gabe Davis or Gabe Jackson, or did you say Gabe Jackson?
I said Gabe Davis.
Did I say Gabe Jackson? All right, Gabe
I don't
Davis.
know.
I'm dumb. Sorry. Anyway, but yeah, no, I would do that tomorrow. I mean, it makes sense because DeAndre Hopkins likely wants to go to a team where he's going to win, right? The Cardinals have the same problem right now because Budda Baker, who's like one of their lone bright spots, also is like deuces. Like he wants to leave. Perna said it. Good.
See, I don't
Okay,
even trust them now. They're all just against me, Tom.
That's fair.
Like,
Okay,
I don't
Perna.
doubt that I might have said it, but I also don't trust anybody saying that it was definitely me. Because it's Perna said it, blame Perna. Now I just think I could have 100% accurate GPS, and they'd be like, Perna screwed up. Gabe Davis.
I just love how
Guess what? Everybody knew who I was talking about.
The chat just gaslights the crap out of Brandon Perna. That's what I want. I want the G to stand for Gaslighting Perna Show. That's what I want it to be. He just says something with complete accuracy, and the chat just gaslights him into being like, "Now you're wrong."
Yeah,
I get behind that, but
yeah, Budda Baker leaving, like, that's interesting because, arguably their best defensive player right now. But do you think Budda sees like a defensive head coach coming in and is initially excited and then finds out?
What's up, Bird Gang? Jonathan Gannon, your new head coach, Arizona Cardinals. Ready to get to work. Buckle up. We're going to have some fun.
That's what he put in for the trade.
Hey! What's up, man? How you doing? Good. Shoo. Shots. Explosive.
I think it was 2 strikes and you're out.
Day one. He's like, yeah, I'm not even waiting for the baseball reference to come to fruition.
Yeah.
It's just done. It's just done.
And here's what's rough for the Cardinals too, because their defense was last year, and then they lose Byron Murphy, Zach Allen, JJ Watt, Budda wants out. Their defensive coordinator, Vance Joseph, now the Broncos.
Pass Brandon.
And now I predict Budda Baker to the Broncos to reunite with Vance Joseph.
Are you going to make him the highest paid safety?
Sure, why not? We got money.
Because that's what he wants.
Yeah, he's owed $13 million, then $14 million. Dude, Budda Baker,
big
Justin
contract.
Simmons. Oh my God.
That would honestly be really good. It's because I've talked about this, and a lot of Packers fans have asked me. I would love Budda Baker to the Packers because, in my opinion, safety is our number one need. Tight end is like really, really close, but it is our number one need. So we could get a guy, and we'd have Darnell Savage to still see if he's there. And, instead of like working around, because we released Vernon Scott. So I think we have 6 safeties that are on the roster. And we have one that we're like, yeah, definitely a starter there. So it'd be great. I just don't know if we're going to pay him. And if this was 2 seasons ago when the Packers are making a Super Bowl run, then I say, yeah, maybe they try to make this work. But since they're in this weird like rebuild now, I don't know if I don't think the Packers are going to make any splashy signings because it's more of just, hey, let's see who's good. Who's going to be here after next season? Because I imagine maybe it's me just being optimistic. I imagine if there are people who are not good at their job after this season, maybe they get the boot. Looking at you,
Packers are they're in the middle of a divorce right now with Aaron Rodgers.
That's true.
But they've kind of been already seeing somebody in Jordan Love. But before they jump into another commitment right after this marriage, this is like a lot of foreplay season with them, Jordan Love, see if the chemistry feels right. And yeah, they're not going to overinvest until they know who that next quarterback is. Great analogy. Great job, Brandon. Who else would be interested in Budda?
Anybody who needs a really good safety. So
yeah, but like
team wise, I mean,
I'm trying to think of where he might actually go.
It's not within the division, so we're gonna cancel that out.
The Chiefs actually do need safety.
The Cincinnati Bengals, they're not going to pay. They just got rid of Jesse Bates, though. But they're not going to. I think if they didn't pay Jesse Bates, they're not going to pay Budda Baker.
No.
But damn, that would be an awesome get. That would be an awesome get. But
oh yeah, I think what are they? They're talking about the Eagles too. Interested in them?
Mink, I was just thinking about that. Mike, excuse me. Like Minkah Fitzpatrick and Budda Baker together, Steelers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jaguars could use them too.
Oh my God, the Chiefs.
Jaguars, that'd be a great trade.
Right,
that'd be a great trade.
Idiots.
So
the Bears have cap space. The Lions have cap space. The Panthers have cap space.
Honestly, I would hate if he went to the Lions because he'd be so good for them. Oh, I'd hate that. I'd hate that so much. I ruffled. All
right. So, but like Baker could move on draft day.
Yes,
it might happen before. It could happen on during the draft. The Cardinals could be moving the number 1 or the number 3 pick regardless. Another guy who could move on draft day, I think old Trey Lance might be in the mix to be dealt on draft day.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kirby Joseph is going to have a massive fall off because he can't pick off Aaron Rodgers anymore. Self-burn. This will be cut after 2 years. You're just like Aaron Rodgers left.
Jordan Love even more.
No, he's not. He's not.
What if Jordan Love is kind of mid?
That's a very good possibility.
What if he's just like a 9-win quarterback?
It's a great possibility. Again, wins are not QB stats, but yeah.
Trust in him, but it's average.
Could definitely happen.
Yeah. You don't.
It's like when Jim is
bad or great. No in between.
It's like when Jim is talking to Dwight, and he's like, maybe 3 months. Could be.
Yeah.
4 months.
I could see that.
That's a possibility. Yeah. I am open that Jordan Love could be anything. He could be a unicorn that could fly and guide us to a Super Bowl. He could also be terrible. He could also be average. That could be.
How much cap space do the Patriots have for Budda Baker?
Right. We're talking about draft trades. I'm gonna pitch something to you right now.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll catch it.
All right. If you are the Cardinals, is your number 1 priority trading down in this draft and getting a first-round pick next year? I think it is. Like, you get one this year, obviously, whatever team you swap with, but you get there. I think it 100% needs to be your top priority because your team is going to, we've talked about how, I think they are going to be in the running for worst team in the league. I do.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't think they need to trade. Like the Cardinals could take a very good player at 3 and still be the worst team in the league and still have the number 1 pick next year. Now,
true.
Sure, anytime you can get more value for your draft picks, that's great. But you have to be very good at drafting for that scenario to work.
That's
and
true.
I think the Cardinals are just like an average at drafting.
They'll get their first-round linebackers again.
It's hard because we don't know their new front office, right? They've got a whole regime change there. Like, if you're a Cardinals fan, you want to believe the changes they've made at the top, that they're going to be better. And I think there's just too much. It's unpredictable of what they would do. Their old staff, I would say, get too drunk, accidentally trade out of the 3 spot, but don't get the proper value.
Like, if they trade down even to the 5 spot, because if someone really wants to get a QB, Like they really want to go for an Anthony Richardson. They read his OPET and we're like, yes, we need to go get him. I think it just makes sense because I don't think I'm crazy, and I know he just got extended. I think with a new regime and he comes back and he doesn't look good, I don't think I'm crazy that if they have like the top pick in the draft, they don't go after a quarterback next year.
I mean, depending on who they like in this quarterback draft, depending on who's available at 3, they could just take a quarterback there. But yeah, they moved on off of Josh Rosen after a year.
But they just gave him a ton of guaranteed money. He's the second highest. Well, now probably not, but he actually still might be the second highest paid guaranteed. But
somebody would trade for Kyler Murray. A team would trade for him.
Sure.
I think the smartest thing for the Cardinals to do, though, is exactly what you said. If they can trade and stay in the top 8 or top 10, you still get a great player. You get an extra pick or two. I'll have a video on that today or tomorrow. But look, I'll be honest. I'm not going to watch USFL and XFL football all weekend. I wanted to watch some Carson Strong, but by the time I got the game on, they had moved on to the next quarterback, even though Carson Strong was 5 or 5. I don't even know if he got injured. But Cardinals trade back a little bit and get more picks. I mean, even just swapping with the Colts. Like if the Colts are trying to avoid another team swooping in, that would be ideal because they're still probably going to get their top choice of defensive player. They need defensive line. They need edge. Need corner. They need everything on defense.
It's just the Cardinals are in a really bad spot, but can also be in a really good spot to like start over from scratch and say
like,
they had.
Think about it this way. If they drafted a quarterback, it fills an immediate need, right? You're looking at one of the QB. You're looking at quarterbacks who are ready to come in and play right away. There's a couple of those guys. You play them. Why Kyler's hurt? If they look good, if they sell you that they're the future, then you can just move on from Kyler Murray. You can trade him. Maybe you eat some salary for a year.
You're gonna.
You got a cheap quarterback, so you can do it. And there's also like all these rumors that the Texans might not draft a quarterback at 2.
Yeah, what is going on with like that is
asinine.
It's weird.
It's getting weird. Stupid. But 2, it's the Texans. So I believe it. I don't think D'Amico Ryans would let that happen. But you never know. He's a defensive guy. He could be confident enough to say, look, this team can win with defense. Don't think that's going to happen.
Dude.
But let's just say, if the Texans don't take a quarterback at 2, they just draft
Will Anderson.
Then the Cardinals got what? There's either Bryce Young or CJ Stroud available.
See, I don't think they'll pull the trigger this year.
I would do it.
I think you trade out of it.
I would trade Kyler Murray to the Oakland Athletics. Boom.
Like right now, Kyler Murray's dead. Just to give you, I know it obviously doesn't, but his dead cap this season is $97 million. Like the contract is he got a ton of guaranteed money.
Yeah.
And next year his base salary goes from $2 million to $37 million. Like,
so that's the thing. Like you're the Cardinals, you could do this season with who's their quarter? Who's even going to start at this moment?
They got oh my God, who'd they get? It wasn't Darnold because he went to the 49ers.
They have Colt McCoy. They've got Jeff Driscoll and David Blau.
David Blau, that's what he went. Yeah.
So like, you're gonna rock with Colt McCoy, or just draft a rookie and see what happens.
This would be amazing though if the Texans Texaned it and they really didn't draft a QB. That value at that number 3 pick just skyrocketed to the moon because then a team like the Raiders goes, oh my God, we don't have to get like Will Levis. Like, let's go and get CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. Like it becomes a home run for them. So I think they wait till draft day, but I don't think you draft a QB. I think you embrace the suck, figure out who's good. You could go get your defensive player, but you try and get as much value out of that number 3 pick as possible. And then go, you know what? For half the season, we're probably not going to be good. When Kyler comes back, this will be his audition in front of the new regime. And if he doesn't pass it, we'll we'll think about doing something else.
Yeah. Like if the
But again,
Texans
the
didn't
money is a
pick-
problem. The money is the issue.
if the Texans did not pick, I take a quarterback if I'm the Cardinals. But their money's not a problem.
No, for Kyler Murray's money. Like the
No, I
money
mean,
that they
it's the-
owe him.
Like they would be
Well-
taking another player that would be paid just as much if they take a quarterback right there. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what's crazy too is that they gave him this huge extension, which everybody knew, right? Like we all knew, it's like he's gonna get paid a lot of money. There's not really a lot of results / production to say, yeah, he was worth that kind of money. But they were just between a rock and a hard place, and they kind of had to do it. But now he gets hurt. Things have fallen off so much. People, like great players, want to abandon ship. Yeah, JJ Watt, who also retires, and you're kind of left in like, we could go full rebuild mode because we are going to be bad this year.
Yeah.
It's going to be it's going to be time. The Cardinals are in a very unique place. So that'd be dope. Get Willow.
That's why I put Kyler Murray on the list as draft day trades, Tom.
You also have Cortland Sutton on there.
I do have Cortland Sutton as a possible draft day trade.
You think that's finally going to happen?
I think if they get the value they want for him, I think if the Broncos can get a second-round draft pick, they will move Cortland
Makes
Sutton.
sense.
They were close to dealing him to the Ravens, apparently, but they weren't getting the value.
We talked about
And-
this earlier.
They're not going to move Cortland Sutton without that. So it's more a matter if a team wants to give what they're asking. And I think there are probably a couple teams, depending on what happens with the wide receiver class in this draft, who would give the Broncos what they're looking for if, for whatever reason, I don't think there's going to be like an early run on receivers, and that's kind of working against the Broncos. But if there's, say towards the end of the first, say a few receivers do go where like that kind of starts to make sense, and Team X is like, well, that was our guy. Let's just give up this pick here to acquire Cortland Sutton. Because the Broncos do have 2/3. They're definitely interested in accumulating picks, but they're only interested, I believe, in accumulating a second rounder right now. And that would be to target edge or corner, depending on how the draft shakes out. But he could be moved for sure. I don't think he will, but like once that door opens with trade talks, right?
Yeah.
It continues. And I do believe once draft day happens, that's when teams are like, okay,
Anything can go crazy.
I am willing to move these picks because we're going to get these other picks from this team. It's when fluidity starts to happen. To one up Arizona in the race to the shortest QB ever. Oh, yeah. Watch out, Doug Flutie.
You got this.
Watch out. I'll be the only NFL quarterback who can also heel flip.
That's good. That's good. You also have Derrick
Fluidity.
Henry on there.
Derrick Henry draft
You
day
think
trade.
The
Ryan
Titans
Tannehill could be a draft day trade.
that wouldn't surprise me. Do they make like 2 like draft day blockbusters? They traded AJ Brown last year, and that was
Yeah.
wild. Like I don't think anyone saw that coming.
Yeah. The Derrick Henry, unlike the AJ Brown trade, the Derrick Henry trade does make sense. Because if the Titans don't get a quarterback in this draft, the Tennessee Titans, to me, are now a team that does not benefit from really being above average next year. Because what are they going to do after Tannehill? This is like the last year, his deal. We know their defense is fine. It's going to be solid. They're bringing Simmons
The line
back.
is
They
good.
should get Harold
Yeah.
Landry back. But like Henry's at the end of his shelf as a dominant running back. Derrick Henry could be very good next season for the Titans. You'll be happy to have him.
Sure.
But he's got value right now, and he could go to a contending team and make a difference there.
But who wants him?
Oh, I don't know.
The Bills, they don't. I'm not gonna go
Bills-
get him now. They're not gonna
Bills
get him now.
wouldn't use him enough, but yeah, I would love to see him in Buffalo. I'd love to see Josh Allen hand it
but
off
they're
to
not.
Derrick Henry in the second half and get 100 yards rushing there.
Well, because the Titans are in a weird spot because they're in a really bad division too. Because the Colts are likely not going to be a great team. Like likely they could. Maybe they have an amazing draft. I'm not like trying to poo-poo on them.
Derrick Henry to the 49ers for some reason.
Why not? Then you have the Texans. And then the Jaguars are like the up-and-coming team, and I think they'll be really strong this year. And then you have the
Jags could use
Titans, who
Derrick
like
Henry.
have the what?
Jags could use Derrick Henry.
Oh.
ETN and Derrick Henry. Ooh, like that. No,
Chiefs
take him. I'd be perfectly fine with that.
Because then you could, when he
Because I
comes to
can tackle
play
him. One,
Denver,
two.
you can try to tackle him.
Have you watched the Chiefs? They do not commit to running the football.
But Isaiah Pacheco runs really well.
Yeah, they kind of got mini Henry and Pacheco. There'd be games where Henry would get like 4 carries.
I understand what you're saying. I don't know. The Titans are in a weird spot, man. They really, because they are. Is this the last? Yeah. I mean, he's an unrestricted free agent. Yeah, next year. So
Derrick Henry to the Cincinnati Bengals. Ooh, how about that? Whoa.
Yeah, the Titans love the Bengals. I love them.
Whoa.
Dude, I don't. Derrick Henry, because how much longer does he have on his deal?
Last year. He's in his last year, I think.
Is it? He is. You're right. He's in the last year of his deal. Holy crap. So you're not going to have Derrick Henry or Ryan Tannehill next year? Ooh. So like now you're in this weird space of like, do we go all in? But I don't think we can because I think that window is kind of closed because you don't have AJ Brown anymore. Like you're not going to be a Super Bowl contender. You still probably could win the division. It'll be a little bit tougher, but yeah, like next year you might be starting from scratch. That's interesting. That's really, really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think like a team wouldn't have to give up like a
That'd be pretty
like
cool.
a really big draft pick for Henry.
I don't think so.
It'd be like you get his salary off the books, you get 1 year. He's not looking for like an extension. Well, Derrick Henry as a Philadelphia Eagle would be a lot of fun too.
Dude, there are so many teams, like especially with that QB draft class next year. Oh my God, the race for Caleb Williams is going to be real, and I think you're going to have a lot of teams that are going to be in on that. Especially if he continues to be like the generational talent that everybody talks about. You're going to have the Cardinals potentially in on it, the Texans on it, depending on what the Colts do, they might be in on it. Like the Packers, if Jordan Love is not good, could be in on it. It's going to be the Rams, Broncos. Broncos could be in on it if Russell Wilson's not good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Sean Payton already said Caleb Williams is the kind of quarterback a team would tank for. Sean Payton said that. So Broncos start 0-3 with Russ. You better believe they ain't winning another game for the rest of the season. And Sean Payton is going to get himself.
And you are going to cheer that every single week.
Yeah.
You're just like, let's go.
I went into conspiracy territory, I think, with Will in our Broncos podcast. I was like, what if Peyton has a deal with Walmart where he's like, look,
listen, just
Russ is cooked, guys.
We got you.
We're not going to win with him. He's not the future. But this guy, Caleb Williams, is next year. You let me tank without questioning my employment? Let me do it. Let me do it bad this
We'll be
year.
competitive. Like, we'll still analyze talent and like stuff like that.
I get that guy.
But we're going to let Russell Wilson get sacked every play.
Yes. We just got to eat his money. We're going to eat it. It's going to taste bad. And then we're getting Caleb Williams. See, and like it is a conspiracy.
Brandon,
Under Sean
you're
Payton,
so excited right
Downtygate
now,
happened.
though.
All
You're
right, this
so
guy's already
excited
willing
right now.
to bend the rules.
After he's
Okay?
like, Russell Wilson, he's going to be so much better. He's going to be so... And then he's just like, but what if?
Sean Payton's going to start Bountygate again, but it's going to be with the Chiefs, Chargers, and
Raiders?
Raiders. and it's going to be to keep Russell Wilson healthy. Because they can lose more games that way. Next level. He's like, I will pay you guys to not hit him. We'll lose the game. The best way to lose.
Just let Russ play.
Let
Just
Russ
let him
play. Let Russ play.
Like, the offensive line just stands up. The defenders are not even rushing after him. Like, are we watching the Pro Bowl? Like, what are we doing? And he just still throws an interception.
Jarrett Stidham comes in and they'll win too many games.
That's fair. That's fair.
Russ is actually pretty safe with the ball. He just had that horrible day on Christmas. So everybody's like, oh, all he does is throw picks.
He just ruined that kid's Christmas.
No.
Yeah. All right.
One of the things he did well, even when he was playing bad, was he was pretty safe for most of the season.
Reverse bounty gate.
Reverse bounty gate. Keep my quarterback healthy.
It's our best chance to win the game. To the other opposing team. He's like, Max Crosby's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna take a break. He's like, this is the best game, easiest game I've ever played. Like, I still got 3 passes defended. All right, Perna, what you got coming out today, buddy? USFL.
Will and I are working on a little USFL XFL comparison video, which is better type. What should I title that shit? Huh? XFL versus USFL, which is better.
That's it.
Cool. But we also have Johnny finished our Raiders versus Browns. Who's the worst all-time drafting NFL team?
Ooh, okay.
So that's in the can. One of those 2 videos I'll get out today.
All right.
What do you have, Tom?
I'm gonna I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it today, but I'm gonna be aiming for 2 videos a day for the next 3 weeks. I want to get these reaction videos done, and I need to start doing draft prospect stuff. So it's gonna be coming. Tom is gonna be locking down on the draft these next 2 weeks.
Tom is coming.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Scooter? Did I forget? Was that something for you or me?
Oh yeah. No, hold on. Nick made something that was awesome.
Oh, okay. All right. I was going to say, I was like, I don't know. That could be me. I don't know. I don't.
Let me get it up.
This was when Bill Belichick was born?
Yeah. No.
No. What? Oh, no.
Hold on,
Is it great?
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
WFL question mark? It's true.
Women's football league. About time.
What do you got there, buddy? What are you showing?
Hold on.
We got a little surprise there.
Come on.
Boston Marathon, baby.
You're running the Boston Marathon?
No, I'm in New York. I ran today, and it was not good.
Boston's 5 minutes away.
That's 3.5 hours away.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Nick created this. He's got to do some tweaks to Elway here. But
oh, yes. Yeah, he showed that to me. I thought he meant Scooter the person. Okay, I was confused. Yes.
Oh my God.
Honestly, it's amazing.
Yeah. We got to sell these at some point.
I think he just needs to be missing an ACL. You just need to remove where his ACL would be.
It just no ACL needed for this scooter.
That's it.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's amazing.
We get that face looking a little more like Elway. Primo.
Brandon should do the next Play 60 video. That's true.
I already made one of those.
All right. Calm down.
It was really funny and nobody watched it. Classic Perna video.
Classic. But folks, we appreciate you. We'll be back on Wednesday for another episode of GPS. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS, and you have been navigated. I got to poop.
And you've reached your J.O. destination.